Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. And in today's video, we're going to talk about advanced ways to feel happy. Okay, advanced ways to feel happy. So I'm saying advanced because this is information and tips that I learned about a year or two ago. And in my experience, so I've been in the personal development space for, man, I've been a student of it ever since I was 15. I'm 28 now, going to be 29 soon. And I've been a professional in the space for over 3 years now. And so, the personal development space is all about you're trying to figure out how to be happy, how to make more money. If you're a guy, you want to know how to be good with women. You want to be healthy, right? You want to be fulfilled. You want to have the complete life. And a lot of what you're going to find in the personal development space is good, right? Things like, drinking water, taking cold showers, abstain from toxic habits like smoking or masturbation or excessive masturbation, whatever, porn, all that. Um, you know, Finding alignment, switching to career paths that really make you happy, your social circle, all these things, right? And what we're going to talk about today is not any of that. It's not any of that. It's a much more deeper, more subtle, yet powerful aspect. And maybe not subtle, but a powerful aspect of being a human being and being happy that is advanced. Okay. And so if you're new to the personal development space, if you're new to all this stuff, it may not click right away. But just hearing this information is critical. And if you have been in the personal development space, let's start with this right here. If you haven't already, it is an absolute game changer to buy and read and get into this material right here. The author, Dr. David R Hawkins, okay, he is basically the father on consciousness. And this book is the starter, Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender. And the next book is called Transcending the Levels of Consciousness, The Stairway to Enlightenment, okay? My guess is that many of you, especially because many of us on this channel are come from using psychedelics, marijuana, all these things, we are highly interested in entering high states of consciousness on a consistent basis without using substance. Okay, another way to put that is we want to be on very high emotion, very high vibration, right? Because that's where all the happiness is, the true joy, the elation, the ecstasy, the joy, the fulfillment, the pleasure, the bliss, right? These are emotions that all of us are really looking for at the end of the day, right? That's why we're eating food, right? Fast food creates this false sense of bliss, false sense of joy. That's why we smoke marijuana so habitually. Like, oh my God, it gives me deep relaxation. It gives me peace. It gives me joy. It gives me ecstasy. It gives me relief, all those things. Okay, so the first step, if you haven't already, is to get into these books. Okay, and so in today's video, let's talk about one specific aspect, which is really getting that your true happiness, true sense of acceptance, true sense of joy lives beyond accomplishment. It lives beyond whatever image you can create for yourself, whatever resume you can create for yourself. It doesn't live, right? Our acceptance, our worthiness, our happiness, and deep, deep, deep spiritual fulfillment and emotional fulfillment lives beyond, do I have my life put together? Now, don't get me wrong. Having your life put together is important. It's part of the baseline for your sense of self-esteem. Okay, but there gets a point for many of us, and if you're not already there, you're going to get there one day soon, where your life is decently going well. Like you have money to pay for all your basic survival needs, rent, food, gas, all that. You may or may not have a significant other that loves you and you love them. You may be having sex regularly if that matters to you. You may be living and working a job that you love. You may have family members that really, really give you what you're looking for, okay? This is really no different if any of you have seen Jim Carrey's transformation where he's like, he has a quote that says, I would hope that everyone could become rich one day so they can understand that being rich is not what's going to make them happy, right? And if you watch some of his more recent clips in the last 6 years, like, he looks totally out of touch with reality, totally, like he's different, right? He clearly had like an awakening of sorts. Back to the message though, okay? So you're going to get to this point where you have a baseline level of happiness, but yet it's like, man, I feel it, and it is so interesting. It's this underlying sense of either I'm not enough, how my life is going is not enough, or things going on around me are not enough. And that really is kind of like the crux of it all, right? Kind of like where the deepest roots of our problems really stem from, is this belief that things are not enough, I'm not enough, something is not enough. And so then we become emotionally and spiritually attached, mostly emotionally and mentally attached, that, and it becomes this rule book where it's like, unless XYZ is happening in my life, I'm not happy, right? So it's like, oh, if I was taller, I'd be more confident. If I had more money, I'd feel more relieved. If my sister was more XYZ, I'd be more respectful. If the world didn't have COVID-19 going on, I'd be more XYZ emotion. And so then we create, and mind you, over time, right? I'm going to be 29 years old. And so even if you're younger, like 15, you already have these rules, these beliefs and rules about, I can only feel this way if I have this in my life. Right? Culture says it already. Like, look at why we buy certain things. Like, oh, I'm not cool unless I have the iPhone. I can't feel accepted and worthy and enough unless I have the Louis Vuitton. I can't feel at ease about myself unless I have a job that all my whole family and the world respects. And so then we just build, and it's funny because it's so it can be so subconscious and underneath. Here's one for me. I'm not enough and successful unless I make my bed, right? Which then goes to, I can't feel good enough. I can't feel happy about myself. I can't feel like I'm primed for success unless my bed is made. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? That doesn't mean, oh, I just get to let my life spill all over the place, so to speak. It's more about the judgment piece, right? Like, just because I fold or not fold my bed doesn't mean that at the end of the day, I'm not worthy and enough and will succeed in my life. There could be clear strategies that lead to certain outcomes for your life that you prefer. So for sure, I prefer to fold my bed. But to have my sense of happiness and worthiness deeply attached to if I make my bed doesn't make any sense, because then I always need my bed to be made for me to be happy. When in reality, happiness and worthiness and acceptance and joy, technically speaking, have nothing to do with if this blanket was folded a certain way in a certain place on my bed, right? That's all a judgment, okay? And so without getting too into it in this one video, again, going back to this, it is in your best interest to begin reading and deeply diving into these books. And man, it continues to change my game, because it's those attachment, judgment, attachment and judgment that just strips us from the ability to be free from the inside out. Okay, final little message before we go, okay, to kind of tie this all in together. I'm looking for the book, but I can't see it. So there's a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl was someone who lived through the Holocaust as a slave. He was a Jew. He is a Jew, and he was a slave. And spoiler alert, at the end of the book, or the climax of the book, is he's like, X X hundred days in the Holocaust. I don't know the facts about the Holocaust, so forgive me. But he's been in the concentration camps for a while now. And, you know, it's bleak, it's desperate. All his fucking family has died. He's seen people get slaughtered. He's avoiding death every day. And he's one day he's getting his normal shitty cup of food, and he finds himself laughing in ecstasy. And he realizes that even though he is in literally the worst possible situation a human being can be in, freedom stripped away, family dead, no personal rights, naked, frail, on the verge of death daily, he realizes that his happiness has nothing to do with his circumstances, and that happiness is an inside out phenomenon, not outside in. And that's exactly what these books aim at, in addition to many other things. And so in terms of advanced happiness, advanced as in, look, we are built to be happy basically for no reason at all. Look at a baby, right? They don't know anything about bills, nothing about, just look at kids, right? They are just playing. They are so in the moment. And again, that's again a big aspect of these books, being in the moment, being present. That's why I always recommend this book right here, The Power of Now, right? Because consider this, especially kind of a lasting moment, a lasting message to my people who would be smoking weed a lot. And this goes even for any habit that you're dependent on for your deep happiness and fulfillment. Could be marijuana, could be alcohol, could be video games, could be sex, could be work, right? Like what we're all looking for is this deep sense of relief and that things are enough and I am happy. That's why drugs are so tempting, because they can bring us to that space of like, oh my God, things are enough. I feel so good just as is. I don't have to worry about the test tomorrow. I don't have to worry about my lack of family support. I don't have to worry about my deep insecurities that nag at me, my anxiety. I don't have to worry about the money, how I'm going to make it, my job, how I'm going to get one, how I'm overweight, how I'm not fit enough, how my girlfriend just broke up with me. You don't have to worry about all those things. So that's why we run to video games, drugs, all that. When what we're looking to achieve, what we're looking to get at is feeling, oh my God, relieved. And so these 3 books, I'm going to add The Power of Now in it. This is what you want to get at, y'all. These 3 right here, this study, okay, changed the game for me. Continues to change the game for me, all right? So that's it. All right, that's it. Hopefully this video was valuable. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. Really hope you can hear my words. Trust me, that these books are not the only way to achieve advanced states of happiness, but it just so happened to be the pathway that continues to help me and empower me in that journey. So that's it. Love you all. Appreciate you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.